because today is one of them days, baby. Y'all see what's in the corner. It's a DraftKings Sportsbook day. That means today's show is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, only the top-rated sports booking app in all of North America. And I know y'all been watching the hardwood out there, little basketball playoffs going on right now. Ton of action, ton of games, and ton of games coming up as well, right? We know we do a ton of football talk, but it's hoop season right now. It's playoff season right now. So when you talking, same game parlays, live in game bets, adjusting the odds and everything like that, hey, or adjusting the spreads, man, hey, this is definitely what you want to rock with. But more importantly, for my new people out there, shout out to the new customers. They say the only thing better than is new. All right. So with my new customers out there, when you make that first bet of $5, if you use the promo code Moats, you will receive $200 in bonus bets. So that way you can stay in the game and stay all the way active and live during the playoff time frame. But also though, man, shoot, you can't get lost in that sauce, baby. It happens to the best of us. But hey, if you do happen to develop a gambling problem, if you live in New York, you see it's a number that you could text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. I said a 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty. Let's get to our final topic of the day. All right. Since, like I said, man, we are doing this thing a little bit early, man. I thought we was going to get a chance to tap in with my dog and them, but unfortunately, like I said, man, it wasn't the plan. So we'll get these fan mock drafts going in, man, because y'all did submit these last week, man, before Wednesday's show. And I forgot we had Wednesday. We had to push the show back. And I was like, yeah, we got condensed, so we ran out of time. So I want to make sure that we hit those today, man. Talk some of these fan mock drafts, all right? So you already know the drill, man. Don't forget to hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. As we talk fan mock drafts, let me pull up this first mock draft that we're going to be talking about. And it's from the homie Ricky Dunbar. Shout out to Ricky Dunbar. Now, in these mock drafts I'm going to talk about today, I get the theme, all right? The theme clearly was we're trading back. We need more picks. All right. And I like it. I don't hate it. I like it. But I only like it if Aaron Rodgers is here. All right. Because if not, then I think we're playing with fire. I think you start trading back, it can get weird. All right. It can get really weird. But I'm open to it all. Because like I said earlier, there is no exact science to this draft stuff. There is no exact science to picking these players. And yeah, man, we get surprised. You heard about some of them late round guys I was talking about. You can get surprised, man, at all portions of the draft. But in this particular draft from Ricky Dunbar, he trades back, picks up an additional trades back from pick 21 to pick 32, picks up an additional he picks up an additional third, some fourths, a seventh, and then also gets a 2026 third round pick from the Eagles in this trade back scenario. From there, he takes Jackson Dart at 32, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. At 68th overall, he went with Emory Jones, the tackle from LSU. Then at 83 overall, he went with Alfred Collins, the interior D lineman from Texas. 128, nice, silky smooth running back, R.J. Harvey out of UCF. Then at 143, Tommy Hill, the corner out of Nebraska. 156, Nick Nash, the wide receiver from San Jose State. Then at 185, Mitchell Evans, nice tight end from Notre Dame. And then in 205, give me a D tackle from Virginia Tech, Aeneas Peebles, man. Like his game as well, man. Obviously, I'm a fan because of my former college coach, J.C. Price, being the D-line coach down there at Tech, man. But I like this fan for a couple of reasons. If the draft works out where we can trade back and Jackson Dart is still there at 32, I still like that. Like I said, I don't have a hard I prefer Shedeur. Y'all know how I feel. I want Shedeur if I'm going to get a chance to get that guy. But if it goes the way that I hope it goes and he's off the board early on, because I think that he should be a top pick or one of those top picks, then yeah, Jackson Dart, man, if I get him at 32, I ain't tripping on that, man. Big arm and good size on him as well, man. To me, man, what we've seen from Jackson Dart, we know the questions are, is he more than just a Lane Kiffin product? Meaning, Lane Kiffin knows how to scheme open players. He's great at that at the collegiate level and utilizing just the space and putting those defenders in conflict. But it does simplify for the quarterbacks, and we've seen those guys at times struggle transitioning to the NFL level. To me, man, I like a lot of the intangibles that Jackson Dart brings. So him at 32, I'm not tripping. Ricky Dunbar also mentioned of note with Emory Jones at tackle. He says, if it doesn't work out for him at tackle, you can also bump him into guard, which I would agree with. But I do like the fact that, hey, early on, man, let's compete, man. Whether you want to compete with Troy or Broderick, both of those guys are younger tackles, man, that are still trying to make their foothold at these new positions for them. Troy starting at right, Broderick obviously starting over at left now. So I like the fact that we're getting a little bit of insurance along with some competition for the position. Okay. Alfred Collins, man, nice interior D tackle, man. Good size on him. Productive player. Can't go wrong with him, man, especially when you're talking about that 83rd overall. I like RJ Harvey. Nice pickup right here in terms of, just like I said, man, a running back, man, that can do what you need him to do, man. Patient, but also has that explosive ability as well, man. So I like that. Like I said, man, this is a cool little draft right here. And I do appreciate you, if you're going to trade back and get all these other picks, get something extra for next year too, man. So you got us third round for next year out of Philadelphia. I do like that. I don't know how high of a pick that's going to be, though, because Philly look like, they still going to be heavily a part of that playoff conversation in the NFC. But either way, we got some addeds, all right, so some additionals. So I appreciate you on that, man. But I do like it, though, man. You give me a quarterback, man. You give me a tackle / guard. I got my interior D lineman, got my running back. I got a corner, Tommy Hill, good player like that. And then I got me some interesting late potential players, right? Nick Nash, nice wide receiver, Mitchell Evans at the tight end spot, and then another D tackle and Aeneas Peebles. So across the board, I like the fact that we shot at multiple positions. I do like the ones that we shot at the beginning of the draft as well. And yeah, shout out to Ricky Dunbar. All right, shout out to Ricky Dunbar. Let's see how y'all feel about this one in the comment section, man. Let me know how y'all feel about my man Ricky and his mock draft. Looks like ex-concept is a fan of Alfred Collins in the 3rd round. Now, Chris Thomas says D tackle in the 1st round and build this team in every area, then get the quarterback next year. It could definitely work, man. Trust me, it could definitely work. At the same time, we just know that puts a lot more pressure on the others the longer we wait to figure out quarterback. All right. But I like your thought process. Okay. All right. Shout out to my man Ricky, though. All right. Let's get to this next mock draft. And this is from the homie Philip Bickford. All right. Philip Bickford, he has us taking Jackson Dart in the 1st round, man. He traded back also. Let me start that off, man. He traded back from pick 21 to pick 32, picked up an additional 64th overall pick, which is obviously in the beginning of the 3rd. And then he also picked up, the end of the 3rd, end of the 2nd. Jeez Louise. Then he picked up an additional 5th in terms of pick 161 as well. So with that, though, man, Jackson Dart was who he took at quarterback at 32. Y'all just heard, man, if the board works like that, man, I'm a big fan of it. That works as well. At 64 overall, Caleb Johnson. Love what I saw from him. Like I said, I wish he would have ran a little bit faster 40 time. But when you watch his tape, man, the size, the speed, the patience, I think he plays faster than what he timed. And he just looks Steeler-esque. Maybe it was because he was in Iowa rocking on that black and gold out there, but he looked good, man. So to me, man, I like that dude a lot, man. And if we're talking running backs, that's one of the guys that I think that we should heavily be considering taking. So the fact you're able to get him at 64 overall, I like that. Deion Walker, getting him at 83rd overall in that D-line, the same way X-Concept was excited about Alfred Collins, I'm excited about Deion Walker, man. I think that, he was one of the first D tackles when I actually was looking at, man, when we first started tapping into collegiate prospects, man. I just pulled up. I was like, yo, top D tackles, man. Who's some dudes to look for? And literally he pops up and I remember watching. I'm like, yo, all right, you play a little high, but your size, your strength, like, you're productive, man. I like you. I think we can coach that up a little bit more, man, and you could be even more productive. So I like the fact we're getting him at 83rd overall. Za Frazier, man, really, really good cornerback, man. I like that at 156. Malachi Moore out of Bama. Nice safety prospect right there. Elijah Roberts, man. Good interior D lineman, man, from SMU. And then Joshua Gray, interior offense lineman out of Oregon State. So once again, man, we started to give us some variety here, right? We went quarterback, running back early, or quarterback, running back, D-line early. Actually, quarterback, running back, D-line are all top 100 picks. That's what I personally consider as early. I know we went at 156. We went with the corner, Za Frazier, which I do like as well, man, hitting all the marquee positions that I think we personally need. But I like specifically the order of your operations, man. Quarterback, running back, D-line. If we all would agree that quarterback is the most important position, and we all are trying to figure out that position in terms of consistency, in terms of clarity, in terms of the leadership of it, if we don't feel like we have that answer in-house, I am all for bringing in other people to see if that can create the answer, whether that be pushing the guys that are currently in-house or the guy that we're bringing in, elevating and leapfrogging those guys. But to just sit here and just act like, man, yeah, everything is going to be fine, draft all these other positions, just let the quarterback situation just play out, I don't think that that's the best course of action. So the fact that you take a Jackson Dart, where you taking him, I'm a fan of it. I like that right there. Like I said, Caleb Johnson, heck of a player, man. Definitely like that. And then Deion Walker as well. Big fan of him. So let me see how y'all feel about him in the comment section, man. Let me know how y'all feeling about Philip Bickford in his mock draft. All right. Let's see. X Concept says Deion Walker in the third is good value with the fire emoji. Chris Thomas says, yes, agree with that Caleb Johnson pick. Fire emoji. I'm telling you, Caleb Johnson, man, I think he would look nice in that Pittsburgh Steelers black and gold, man. And I think his running style fits the AFC North. I think that he would be a nice complementary piece when you're talking about Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. I'm a fan, man. Chris Thomas also is a fan of that Deion Walker pickup, man. Like I said, man, Deion Walker is a dope player, man. Good size on him, man. And to get him, like I said, at 83rd overall, man, third round, that's a lot of value for that particular slot in the draft, all right? So definitely like that right there, man. And yeah, X Concepts, if Caleb Johnson falls to 64, I think it's great. Like you said, man, if he can fall to our second pick, wherever that is, I'm with you. I'm skeptical about him falling that far. But if it does work out like that, I mean, great. And now we obviously know in this scenario, like I said, we're trading back. And that's how we picked up that additional 64th and 161st overall pick. But to me, man, Caleb is definitely one of those guys that, in my mind, I'm saying, yeah, if we got a chance to tap into that situation, man, and get it back like him with what we currently have, I think we should definitely consider it, man. Now, Richard Arbizo says, great draft, but I like Quinshawn Junkins, the running back out of Ohio State, over Caleb Johnson if he was there at 64 overall. And I can see that right there. Like I said, I think Quinshawn has a little bit more juice going north and south, but I like Caleb's overall profile in terms of how he runs the football, man. I like his demeanor and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't have a lot of grievances with this here draft, man. I think it's a good mock draft. Shout out to Philip Bickford, man. It looks like the congregation was enjoying it as well, man. All right, so shout out to you. All right, the last mock draft that I'm going to talk about is from the homie Joe Markuzik. Shout out to Joe Markuzik. All right. Once again, trading back was the theme. Okay. So he also followed suit. Trading back. He said, yo, I ain't tripping on none of that, bro. Hop back a little bit. All right. So from there at 32 overall, because when he traded back, he picked up the 32nd. He traded back from 21st to get the 32nd and then get the 33rd overall pick. But we lost out on some of our other picks, which is fine. We also picked up a 2026 second round draft pick from Philadelphia. So now we only have 5 picks in this draft. Now with the trade back, the 32nd overall pick, 33rd overall pick, 121st, 185th, and the 229th pick. All right. But from there, he went Kenneth Grant, the big body interior nose tackle out of Michigan in the first round at 32nd overall, shoring up the D-line. Then from there at 33, he went with Jalen Milroe, quarterback out of Bama. Okay, it's spicy. At 123, went with Damian Martinez, running back out of Miami. Big bruiser. He is finishing behind his pads. He is a thumper, and you talk about a perfect complement to Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. I think Damian Martinez fits perfectly what we would want him to do in the black and gold. 185, Ty Robinson, D tackle out of Nebraska. Good player, good size. Love at 229, Jimmy Horn Jr., man. Speed, get down the grass, make a play, wide receiver out of Colorado. Definitely like his game. And then, like I said, man, picking up an additional second-round pick for next year's draft, that's a high pedigree pick. Second-round pick, even though it's Philadelphia, it's still a high pedigree pick. So I do like that also. But give me a D tackle in that first round, man, Kenneth Grant, and then turning around and getting Jalen Milroe. I like it. And the reason why I don't hate the Milroe vibe is, how can we act like we were all on this Justin Fields? We were intrigued with Justin Fields, everything. Don't take Justin Fields out for Russ and all this other stuff. And then turn around and look at Milroe and act as if his style of play is so just taboo and god awful. It's like, nah, man, save that, man. The same coaching staff that helped Justin Fields look the best that he's looked professionally is the same coaching staff that could do the same thing in terms of putting hands on Jalen Milroe and getting him to play at a high level and understanding all these things, man. The upside is crazy with this dude because the intangibles. This is the type of dude that TG loves. You know, it's the type of dude that makes me skittish because I'm like, I don't like the not late. I don't like the, you got all the intangibles, but you don't have the consistency at the actual like quarterback stuff. But to me, I'm like, he has all the other defining characteristics to buy time. In the same way we talked about Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders earlier, and I'm saying, hey, comparing them to Cam Ward, I'm like, you have to look at the situation they're walking into. I feel like, man, if Jalen Milroe is coming into our situation with the pieces that we have around and the style that Arthur Smith likes to implement, I still feel like this dude would thrive in this offense, and I think that he would add a different element. The element that we saw briefly in those first 6 games with Justin Fields, and even with that, we still didn't lean on it all the way where we could really make his legs a weapon. I just think with Jalen Milroe, especially as a young quarterback, they would use him a little bit more in that approach. And I think that it just adds a different element and something that we were intrigued by with Justin Fields. So to me, I like that part. And that's the thing that intrigues me because I don't just get caught up in, oh man, look at how many turnovers he had. Okay, cool. But look at how much production he had as well. We get so caught up in the one bad that we act like the one bad outweighs all the good. That's not how professional sports work. All of it is a part of it. But the same way we're going to talk negative, you got to also acknowledge that production because not everybody can produce. Like anybody can mess up. We've seen a long list of guys throw turnovers, long list of guys fumble the football, long list of guys get laughed out of stadiums. Show me the long list of guys that put 500 up on Kirby Smart in Georgia. Show me the list of guys that have cooked at Bama and actually, you know, while Saban was there, it was nice. Then we know when Saban left, kind of got a little rocky, right? But as a whole, you look at what he's done. It's like, yo, you're not pointing to a ton of dudes saying, oh, they can do that. Anybody can do this. This the bad stuff that we all harp on. Oh, what picks. It's like, all right, cool. What about this though? And that's my whole thing, man. So I think that that's one of the interesting parts, man, with Jalen Milroe. And if you get him in the second round, I don't hate it. Now, 33 overall, it's like, God, dog, could have been like a little bit later in the second round. But if that's where the pick falls by us trading back in this scenario, I don't hate that. So I like the energy on it, man. I like the energy, Joe Markuzik. So shout out to you on that one, man. But yeah, man, let me know, man, of the 3 drafts, which one y'all like the best in the comment section, all right? You see Joe Markuzik is sitting up here. Kenneth Grant in the first 30-second, he trades back, but he goes Kenneth Grant, Jalen Milroe, Damian Martinez. Like I said, I'm a fan of his game. I like his game. Ty Robinson and Jimmy Horn Jr. Okay. Then we had Philip Bickford, who also traded back. Did Jackson Dart, Caleb Johnson, Deion Walker, Zah Frazier, Malachi Moore, Elijah Roberts, and Joshua Gray. And then the first mock that we talked about was from the homie Ricky Dunbar. Like I said, he also traded back and got his Jackson Dart at 32nd overall, Emory Jones, Alfred Collins, RJ Harvey, Tommy Hill, Nick Nash, Mitchell Evans, and Aeneas Peebles. All right. So, yeah, man, y'all let me know in the comment section Which was the mock? Okay, Richard Arbizo said it was Phillip for him. Okay, I thought Phillip had a fire draft, man. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, okay. I want to know. All right. Okay. This is Chris Thomas saying he agrees on Jalen Milroe for him. Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. And the X Concepts also brought up that this was Jalen Milroe's first year without Nick Saban as well. And Sean Mays said he didn't like the quarterbacks on any of these, so he's not a Jackson Dart or a Jalen Milroe fan. Sean Mays, dropping in the comment section, man, which quarterback you kind of prefer in this draft class, man. Just get a little context on this thing, man. But I definitely like your energy over there, man. All righty. And then let's see. Oh, Richard Arbizo dropped the super chat as well, man. Appreciate you for that, man. From the heart, you already know. He says, ideal picks for each round without a mock simulator. I think that we can name names, but the mock simulator helps because just in the sense of, all right, I can sit here and say Shedeur Sanders because we need a quarterback in the first round, but the likelihood of him falling that far, we don't know. So that's part of, like I said, why we use the simulators. But to me, man, if I could get Shedeur in the first, if I could get, let's see, Omarion Hampton in the second, right? We find a way to trade it to the second. Let me get him in the second. It's like, yeah, that would be ideal, man. I don't think that we could just sit here with, a third and wait. I'm like, yo, if we're going to do something, man, you trade up a little bit. All right, trade up. But if not, right, if we're just going to sit here and just simply say based on the picks that we have, right, let me pull up the exact numbers of our draft class, right? Let me pull us up real quick and I'll just spitball off the top of my head who I think in what round. All right. I got you, baby. I got you. All right. So we have, let's see, the 21st. No, that is not ours anymore. I was about to read an old one. Jeez Louise. All right, here we go. 21st, 83rd, 123rd, 156, 185th, and 229. So give me Shedeur in the first at 21. Give me, like I said, I think Omarion is gone by then. So at 83, I will go Caleb Johnson. At 123, fourth round, I'm going Charles Grant, tackle out of William and Mary. 156, fifth round, probably going Zah Frazier. Seeing him mocked there a couple of times. If we can, do that. I like a nice cornerback, man. At that time frame in round 6, let's see, 185, probably hit my man Ty Robinson out of Nebraska during that time frame. And then at round 7, 229, the same way I did on that mock draft, man. If my man Shedeur, big brother is there, Shiloh, I'm taking Shiloh in the 7th. All right, I'm a book in my Sanders boys. All right, that's what I'm gonna roll with. If I'm just picking without any simulator and I'm just calling off the top of my head, man, who I think will be there and do I truly want those players? That's kind of how I fall with that right there, man. So yeah, shout out to the mock drafts though, man, and I like the participation about each and every one of the yins as well, man. But with that being